discussing since last two sessions. Before we start, let's offer our prayers to Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. So we'll continue our discussions on the very interesting topic which we have been discussing, the highest love. Right? This is a lecture Prabhupada has given, which has the very sublime principles of Krishna consciousness. Finally, what is that in the human life is supposed to achieve? So all these teachings are based on the inspiration by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. All the sessions we are having, also the inspiration and guidance of Srila Prabhupada. Because of his blessings, we are able to understand very esoteric subject matters in spiritual life. Otherwise, we would never have any access to such very elevated spiritual subject matters. So we owe a great sense of gratitude to Prabhupada for his wonderful contribution and his guidance always. So in the previous two sessions on the same subject, the highest love, we discussed few points which we'll have a quick review of them, recollection of them. So the first point Prabhupada was discussing was about what is life's perfection? Is life meant to achieve name, fame, power, money? That's what generally people think. Life perfection means I want to be a big man, I want to be a rich man, very famous man. Is that life perfection? That's what we have been told from the people around us or our relatives. All these situations around in the material world is giving this impression to us. But the real life's perfection is not any of these, because none of these is going to be permanent with you. Real life's perfection is to achieve love for Krishna. So what is this love for Krishna? Is what we have been discussing. Love for Krishna means you begin your spiritual life. Material life means life of relations with different people, as parents, as friends, as relatives, master, servant, so many aspects, and material life is all focused with regard to one family, community, and we go on. We have a job, we have a business. That is material life. Spiritual life means not that we are this body, first and basic understanding. I am spirit, soul. Material life is all based on the conception that I am this body. Spiritual life begins when you understand that you are not the body, you are spirit, soul. And as spirit, soul, you have an eternal relationship with Krishna, who is actually the origin of all this material world and spiritual world. So spiritual life is eternal life. Material life of say 70, 80 years is something which is going to end with this body. And what you are in the previous life, you don't know. Now, what you're going to become next life, you don't know. Just in the span of a limited span of some years, you think, oh, this is everything for me. This is called material life. Spiritual life basically is based on our identity as spirit, soul, And we have our eternal relationship with Krishna, God. We are all part and parcel of Him. We have an eternal relationship with Krishna. And Krishna is our supreme lovable object. If this realization, this understanding has awakened in our consciousness, that is actually spiritual life. And we endeavor in our present life also to further take forward our understanding and see that every aspect of our life is molded in that way. That is called spiritual life. So just like sometimes people say that, okay, material life, I have so many varieties here. We have, relatives, friends, and all these various relationships are here. But generally, I understand spiritual life, opposite meaning for them. It should be without varieties. It should be, void. That is a wrong understanding. This is the so many so-called spiritualists have been advocating about spirituality. What understanding we get from Bhagavad Gita and the Vedic scriptures, which Lord Krishna is revealing, is that this material world is a of spiritual world. When reflecting, you should know that there is reality. Why do we have so many relations in this material world? People in this material world with so many different types of activities going on. Where from it has begun is the point. So very clearly Bhagavad Gita says, Lord Krishna says, that this material world is a perverted reflection. Just at 180-degree reflected. Example is given with regard to a tree on the bank of a lake. The tree is reflected, upside down. So this material world is a perverted reflection. We'll talk more on this in today's session, but just to give an understanding. Right? So we should not have a misunderstanding or a wrong conception that spiritual world is of no varieties, it is all void, nothing is there. No, wrong. Just like we have family, society, friendship, love, Krishna has friendship, love, society, family, parents, everything. Actually, because Krishna has all of them in its original shape and form, the same arrangement is reflected in the material world. And why these arrangements are here? Just to give us as a feeling that actually our eternal relationship with Krishna is there. This material world, whatever you see as relations or various interactions, are all going to finish one day. Once your body is over, you are not connected with your family or society or anything. Over. But as spirit soul, we have a hankering for spiritual existence, permanent existence. I want to have my family life forever, but that is not allowed here. So as spirit soul, we have a nature, whereas in the material world, we are put in a nature which is actually opposite to that. That's the point. So the wonderful revelation Prabhupada gave us was that we do have relationships with Krishna, but we have forgotten that relationship. Why we have forgotten? Because we wanted to enjoy in the material world. Krishna bhulya jiva bhogavancha kare. It is a statement by one of the acharyas. We forgotten Krishna and wanted to enjoy in the material world. So we are in the material world. And we are experiencing the same perverted reflection. Perverted means not in a way it is supposed to be. It's all upside down. It is having a lot of inebrities. That is called perverted. So the qualification to again go back to Krishna and associate with him is to purify ourselves from this contamination. What contamination? I want to enjoy independent of Krishna. Right? Whereas in the material world, what is happening is, even though there are systems which Krishna has set up, he has given us Vedic scriptures, he has given dharma, dharmic principles, but people are using even these dharmic principles for their material purposes, which means the purpose for which Krishna has created this world and the various systems he has made is again being misused. It's like people think, if I follow some level of religiosity, I will get profit for my further enjoying this material world. That is what people are thinking. So they're using dharma for artha. Artha means, oh, I'll get some material benefit, I'll get money, I'll get, I'll be prosperous. Why artha required? So that I can kama, enjoy my senses more and more. And why enjoyment of senses is important? Because that's what is the conception of life I have. Material conception means I want to enjoy in the material world independent of Krishna. This is the whole problem. So, this religiosity is only taken as a means to enjoy in the material world. That's the reason, even though people are religious and trying to follow some rules, regulations, they are not coming to the platform of the highest perfection, that is attaining pure love for Krishna, which is uncontaminated with any such material desires. So when you actually attain to this stage of zero contamination with regard to any sort of material desires, material desire meaning I want to have a nice family, enjoy with the family, life means just with family, friends, relatives, that's all. Just go on with your life. So people think is happiness. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, this is not your real family. It's going to end any time. It's like a bubble in the ocean. Bubbles are not going to have any, not that going to stay forever. It's a momentary, flickering. Right? So like that, our happiness in the material world is like that. But real happiness is with Lord Krishna, our eternal relationship with Krishna. And how to attain that real happiness? When we understand our spiritual nature, that I am spirit soul. I have my hankering as spirit soul is to associate with Krishna. And I want love for Krishna, love of Krishna. That's what my real hankering is. But that hankering I have forgotten. That spiritual instinct of mine is right now sleeping. That has to be awakened. Right? So, this is what our Lord Krishna and all the acharyas in the Vaishnava Parampara is explaining to us, that we have to cultivate what is known as Krishna consciousness. Right now, our consciousness is material consciousness. We are absorbed in material consciousness, means body. I am this body, everybody's bodies. Everybody, we are all interacting, we are relating, and all of us have to enjoy the material world. And this is what our consciousness is. But actually, as part and parcel of Krishna, we have an intrinsic quality of being very nicely, intimately connected with Krishna. It's a very important concept. You have to understand this. So that consciousness of ours is right now covered. It is dormant. So when we cultivate this consciousness, our real consciousness is called Krishna consciousness, in a specific manner as prescribed by the acharyas, as prescribed by Lord Krishna himself in the scriptures, then we can awaken our dormant consciousness. The nice statement made by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kavunai. All of us have this consciousness of Krishna, but right now it is covered, dormant. As soon as a proper situation is given, created, as per the rules, regulations, and following all the the cultivation we do, then that consciousness is awakened. Just like in a seed, there is the potency for the seed to, to slowly grow as a seedling, then a plant, and a tree, and then produce fruits. Just that the proper environment has to be given. Likewise, we as spirit souls are all actually Krishna conscious. We are all connected to Krishna very intimately. Right now, that consciousness is covered, because of which we are thinking, I am this body, I belong to this family, I belong to this society, my profession is so and so, and we are just limiting our consciousness to that one type of an activity for a limited span of time. And go on, life. Like this, one life as a human, next life, maybe you are born as a devata, demigod, one more life as an animal. Like this, our life is going on. We are eternally conditioned like this, which means we are eternally imprisoned in a body. That's the problem right now. So, we need to cultivate Krishna consciousness favorably. That's what is the recommendation given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the acharyas. So we have been discussing how to cultivate favorable Krishna consciousness. Basically, favorable means not that what is favorable to me. Favorable means what Krishna wants. Just like we can give the example of when you're diseased, then doctor prescribes you a specific medicine and diet, which is going to really help you to come out of that ailment. But the doctor's prescription and diet is not followed. What is liking for me, what I want to do, I will do. Does it cure the disease? No. You have to follow doctor's instructions. Similarly, Krishna and his pure devotees have given us directions. What Krishna wants, if you follow, you will recover from this material consciousness, bodily consciousness. Right? So if you can follow Krishna's instruction as given by his pure devotees, you will come out of this material condition and reach the highest perfection. So we have discussed until this point. We'll continue our discussions now. So why directions from a representative of Krishna or a pure devotee of Krishna is so important? So we have to serve Krishna to the representative of Krishna. This is the instruction which all the scriptures are giving us. We cannot, because we don't know Krishna. Somebody who knows Krishna, you should take his direction and serve Krishna accordingly. Why we have to serve Krishna? Because that is our actual situation. Coming back to Krishna's service and having that loving relationship with Krishna is real situation of our Atma. That we have forgotten. That has to be awakened means you have to follow this process. It's like the strict discipline to be followed by the patient to recover from his ailment. So Prabhupada says, therefore, as far as possible, one has to execute the order of one's spiritual master that will enable one to progress. Right? So if you follow the order of Krishna, of the pure devotee of Krishna, because he knows the scriptural understanding, he knows what is what. If you strictly follow Krishna's instructions coming through his representative, the spiritual master, this will help us to move forward in our journey of spiritual life to awaken our consciousness to our original state. Right now we are diseased. That is the essence of the favorable execution of Krishna consciousness. A very important principle. Favorable Krishna consciousness means you are executing Krishna consciousness Krishna consciousness basically means practice of devotional service to modify our consciousness right now, which is actually contaminated, polluted. Krishna consciousness doesn't mean anything very absurd. No. All of us are conscious entities, right? We have consciousness, but our consciousness is right now absorbed in terms of I am the body, or this material things are mine. Like this is called the material consciousness or bodily consciousness. Me and mine with regard to my body. That's all. So this is the consciousness we are predominant, and this is the consciousness which every living entity is having right now. Either it is a bird or a beast or any entity. Even a worm in a stool has the same consciousness. I am this worm, or I am a dog, I am a man, I am a woman. Like this consciousness is predominant right now. But actually, I am not that specific identity which I am recognizing or identifying with that. I am actually spirit. It's like if I'm wearing a shirt, white shirt today. If I say I am the white, that is wrong. Or I am going in a car and say I am the car. No, you're not the car, you're the car. This is the basic lesson Krishna teaches us in the Bhagavad Gita from the very beginning. Dehi nosmin yatha dehe. I am not this body, I am spirit, soul within the body. Body is going through many changes. From birth to after you are born, you grow as a child and then adult, then old age. Like this, body is changing. But what am I? Am I this body? No. I can take one more body, Krishna says. I'll get a new body when this my shirt, what I'm wearing becomes old and torn out. Then I'll change this shirt. Likewise, I change my body when this body is no more useful or it's going to help me in any way. So this is the understanding. This is the essence of the favorable execution of Krishna consciousness. Means, Krishna consciousness basically means to revive our original consciousness that I belong to Krishna, I am part and parcel of Krishna. My real situation is to come back to Krishna's service. That is called Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada gives his own personal example. In my old age, I have come to America and I'm trying to teach Krishna consciousness because my spiritual master gave me an order and I must do it. It is my duty. Just see, Prabhupada, even at the very elderly age of, say, 7, he traveled all from Kolkata to on a cargo ship. First time is going out of India. But nevertheless, and why did he go? Because he has understood, realized that I am not the body and spirit soul. And he wanted to give this message based on the all spiritual master. This is the duty of a pure devotee. The pure devotee understands, or he feels very much for the other living entities. All are suffering. So how can we deliver them? Is what a pure devotee is always meditating, contemplating. So a pure devotee is trying to give this understanding of Krishna.
Prabhu got disconnected, guys. You can see maybe.
तभी तो बच्चे विदेश चले जाते हैं भैया।
हाँ, यहाँ कोई सिस्टम है। हाँ, यहाँ कोई तो कोई
कितनी हो गई, मजा ही नहीं आता।
मौसम भी वो नहीं है। देखो ये बैठे हैं।
मनोज का बेटा आयरलैंड चला गया। इतनी सुंदर जगह है। पेशेंट एक आएगा फिर के बता रहा बहुत
हिंदी में है क्या है वो?
ऐसी फाइनेंस
No signal. Hello.
Prabhu got disconnected. Yeah, he'll come back.
Hare Krishna. Sorry for the interruption.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Sorry for
Last week also we had the same problem, Prabhu.
yeah.
Okay.
Some technical how many problems. Okay. So we will continue our discussion, staying with us, even this time of. Okay, so let's. So I'm talking about Prabhupada. He so mercifully world to just carry out the order of master, and he wanted to execute the order of why? Because he knows the spirit souls and all of us need patience. Left to ourselves, we are always in cycle of birth and death in the material world, taking right. So the pure devotee, compassion. I shall be a success or fail. It doesn't matter. My duty is completed if I can present before you whatever I have heard from my spiritual master. This is called the favorable execution of Krishna. An instruction Prabhupada is giving. In the material world, we sometimes think, unless I attain perfection in the way or the pursuit of work I'm doing, I will not execute that work at all. That's what sometimes we think. Right? Whereas in Krishna consciousness or the action by Prabhupada, simply ourselves as a duty. Whether I'll get perfection, secondary thing. Right? Perfection assured us. But with determination, just like Prabhupada, even at that age, who imagined Prabhupada successful in his mission? But Prabhupada went on very diligently and very, determinedly. That's the point. So in our duty of Krishna consciousness, we, what is success will come or not, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna, all this doubt. Just the duty is, we have to execute our duty of performance. Otherwise, anything material is only going to entangle you more. Action, reaction cycles. Those who are should take the order of Krishna as life and soul. One who sticks to this principle is sure to progress. You see, just sticking on to that order of Krishna or his pure representative as the life and soul, entire life and soul, I'll just go on doing this. This is called favorable execution of spiritual activities, which is actually soul. The doctor's prescription is favorable for my well-being, right? Likewise, the orders given by Krishna and spiritual masters, pure representatives, is meant for betterment of my soul. This we have to understand and contemplate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke in that. Spiritual master used to say, spiritual master is the transparent medium. Important principle. Prabhupada is, spiritual master is a transparent medium. Means he is who is actually going to deliver us Krishna. So what is transparent medium? Prabhupada explains further. For example, I can see book very nicely through these transparent eyeglasses, without which I cannot see because my eyes are, right? Like I am wearing a specs. Why do we wear specs? Because my eyes are defective. I cannot see the things clearly. Once I wear a specs, oh, I can see things as they are. So similarly, our senses, we cannot see God with these eyes. We can see Krishna with these ears. Anything without the medium of the very important principle Prabhupada is teaching us. For us right now, our senses, our perceptions, having some, our eyes just like now can see only when there is light, or we can hear a particular frequency of sound, right? We cannot sound and every sound. It's like entities who can hear high frequency supersonic sounds. Yeah. Right? Like this, we have limitation with regard to our senses, things with our senses. Whereas Krishna and spiritual existence, spiritual world, our senses. They are called achintya. Beyond our conception is called conceive those things with our limited understanding. That's why it's called inconceivable. So Krishna and his existence are all inconceivable. So how can you know something inconceivable? For example, even the spirit soul within our body, people don't know. We have spirit soul. We are all spirit souls. Krishna is sitting as Paramatma. We cannot see, we cannot understand. How can you know? When you hear from Krishna and his pure representative, the spiritual master. Right? When you hear and see from their angle of vision, you can understand. So we cannot do anything without the medium of spiritual matter. They become the transparent via medium for us to understand subject matters beyond our understanding. Just as a defective eye cannot see without the medium of spectacles, so one cannot approach the Supreme Lord without the transparent medium of the spiritual master. Right? With our limited understanding, limited sensual experiences, and you can go on speculating also. There's no point. Oh, God may be this, God may be that, God is impersonal, God has no form, God is light. Whatever way you want, you can go on speculating. But unless you take knowledge from the proper source and start following them, you will not understand what is Krishna, what is in a spiritual life. A transparent means that the medium must be free of contamination. If it is transparent, one can see through it. It's like even when the specs, sometimes there's a fog or some water falls on it. And the clarity of vision is reduced, right? Just like sometimes in winter, you see a lot of fog sitting on your specs. Or even now during this rainy season, humidity is so much that you are inside a air-conditioned room or a vehicle. You just step out, immediately there's a sort of a fog covering your specs. That I have experienced. So transparency means there must be free of contamination. So this transparent, spiritual master is transparent. Why? Because he is pure devotee. So in this way, Prabhupada says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us a wonderful contribution with regard to this specific understanding of who we are, why are we in this material world, what should be our important duty in the human life. Because anything else other than perfecting your life, highest perfection of achieving love of God, is all going to entangle us more and more. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prema Pumartho Mahan. The highest perfection a human being can achieve is to develop or revive his original love for Krishna. It's a very unique contribution Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made. Because otherwise, we just go on, okay, you just do this, do that also, and the goal of life is forgotten. Then what is the point? the human life will be spoiled. So, in unalloyed love of Godhead, we have to engage our senses, sarvendriya, all the senses. Right? So, love of God doesn't mean you stop working with your senses, but engage them favorably to please Krishna. That is called unalloyed love for God. Unalloyed love of Godhead, we have to engage our senses, sarvendriya, all the senses. This means that sex is also to be engaged in Krishna consciousness. It's a very important principle Prabhupada is going to introduce now. Whatever we have in this material world as different relations, different types of dealings, everything is in its original shape and form in spiritual world. In the material world, it is only a perverted reflection. To understand this, what perverted means is distorted. It is having a lot of inefficiencies. That is why it's called perverted. So, sex life, which the whole world is working hard. Everybody is only centered. Their life is centered around sex life, right? Right? Why you ask anybody, why are you working hard? I have my family to take care of them. I have to work, right? Like this, everybody's life is centered around sex life. But the sex life has its original existence in the spiritual world in a different way. So what it is, how it is, we'll try to understand. Basically, the conception Prabhupada is trying to give us is that everything in the material world is a reflection in a distorted way. Original existence is spiritual world. The conception of God as a father or mother does not allow the engagement of one sex in the service of the Lord, because there is no sexual relationship with the father and mother. Right? Generally, the conception of any religion is that God is our father, God is our supplier. Right? So where is sex life here? But in the conception of God as a lover, there is sexual engagement also. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the most perfect information of our engagement with the Supreme Lord. So here we have to always understand when Prabhupada is talking such esoteric subject matters. Now we have to go a little carefully and understand things in a proper way. That Krishna is ready to relate with us in different relationships, whatever way we want. Right? We understood this in one of the previous sessions, the same subject. That Krishna has multiple relationships with every living entity. Right? If you want Krishna as a friend, he's ready to associate with you like that. Because in the material world also we have friends, we have somebody as our relatives. This person is, my mother, my father, as parents. I have a relationship of husband, wife, lover. I have a relationship of, I am the parent and I have a child. So there are 5 primary relationships which all of us experience. That is called Shanta Rasa, or relationship of neutrality. Wherein I am sitting on a chair now. This chair is giving me service in silence. Shanta. Like that, there are many entities, living entities in spiritual world, who are all appreciating Krishna's glories. It's like the cows, the Yamuna river, even the flute is giving Krishna service in Shanta Rasa. Then there is Dasya Rasa, or this a relationship of servitude. We have some entities who are giving service to us, maybe a maid in your house or an office peon in your office. And there are many entities who are also giving service to us. We are taking milk from cow or honey from the honeybee. They're all giving service. So this is Dasya in one sense. Right? So Dasya means service of servitude, means you develop a relationship of service to Krishna. With regard to Krishna and his incarnations, we have one very great devotee in the mood of Dasya. He's called Hanuman. Lord Hanuman is always a big servant of Krishna, of Lord Rama. And we have third relationship known as Sakhya. When the servant relationship is further intensified, it becomes friendship. Like you have a driver with you. Almost 20 years he's with you. He's become like a friend with you. You share anything and everything with him. Friendship means equal. It's like Krishna has friends in Vrindavan, Gopalas. And one of the great friend, Arjuna, Krishna, personally became his chariot driver on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This Sakhya. So Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, then Vatsalya. In friendship, there is equal. In Dasya, Krishna is master, I am servant. Whereas in Vatsalya, parental relationship, Krishna becomes your subordinate and you become the master, or you become the caretaker. Just like Yashoda, Nanda, Vasudeva, Devaki. Similar relationship we have in the material world also. We have somebody as our children, somebody as our friend, somebody as our master. Same thing in different ways we're trying to experience here. Krishna can have all his relations with us eternally. And there is conjugal relationship, a relationship of the mellow of Dampatya Rasa, it's called Shringara Rasa, wherein Krishna had, Lord Krishna in his whole spiritual existence has three varieties of entities with whom he is experiencing this Shringara Rasa or Dampatya Rasa. The gopis of Vrindavan. In Dwaraka, Krishna had 16,108 queens. They are known as Mahishi. Lakshmi, Mahishi, and Gopi Gana. Lakshmi in Vaikuntha Loka, Narayana is having Lakshmi as his consort. And in Dwaraka, he has the queens of Dwaraka. With them, he's having a relationship. And in Vrindavan, he has gopis. This is called conjugal relationship between a man and a woman. Right? So whereas the relationship with Krishna and his pure devotees is all of a different level that Prabhupada is going to explain now. In the material world, it is all entangling. It is very much as Bhagavata says, abominable. It creates a lot of problems. But spiritual existence, spiritual understanding of relationship and Krishna's relationship with the different devotees is not like that. Spiritual means it is free from contamination of material world. That's the point. So God can be a lover, right? God can be a friend, God can be your child, anything. So this engagement, perfect engagement, is what spirit soul is hankering for. Other religious conceptions of life, God is at the utmost taken as the father or mother. It is what the other religions are giving us. This is the maximum understanding they can go for. Many worshippers in India take the goddess Kali to be a representative of God. Of course, she is a sister of Krishna, but she has specific functions. Of course, that is not sanctioned, but the belief is there. And also in the Christian religion, the conception of God is as a father. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informs us that one can even have sexual engagement with the Lord. This information is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's unique contribution. We will understand this in a much better way as we move forward. In the material world, sexual engagement is considered to be the highest engagement, the greatest pleasure, although it exists only in a perverted form. Right? Again, specifically Prabhupada is using the word perverted. Perverted means distorted, having a lot of problems. Because here, a boy and a girl, initially they have so much of attachment, attraction, and they are in a different world. And as time goes, the attachment, attraction is reduced. Just like initially, when there is marriage between a boy and a girl, the attachment with the opposite, gender is too intense. As time goes, it dwindles. Right? This is how the material world is. Any relationship, initially it will be very, very exciting. And as it goes forward, it's all over. Because I have already squeezed out all the pleasure from that relationship. Nothing now to experience anything more. Right? So in the material world, people are looking for new partners. Why? Because I already have squeezed out enjoyment with that person. No more I want new. This is how material world is. The material world, the sexual engagement or sexual pleasure considered to be the highest is existing in a perverted form. Perverted means it is a distorted form. Right? No one, however, has conceived that there can be sexual engagement in the spiritual world. There is not a single instance of such theology anywhere in the entire world. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's unique contribution. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, God is not simply your, not only can become your father or mother, he can be much more. God can be understood as your child. God can relate with you as your child. God can relate with you as a lover or a husband. Right? All this is possible. This is something which is higher than the normal understanding of religion. Religion, generally people think, oh, God is our supplier, God is our provider, God is our maintainer, God is our father. It's like father, mother takes care of children like that. We are all children of God. That is also one level of understanding. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, beyond that also God can relate with us. Is the point. This information is given for the first time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that one can have Supreme Personality of Godhead as one's husband, as one's lover. This is possible in the worship of Radha Krishna, but no one, especially the impersonalists, can understand Radha Krishna. So, for the impersonalists, finally everything is without any person, means no relations, it's all nirvishesha, means without any variety. That is wrong. We as spirit souls do exist even after liberation, and we have our actual situation of being in the spiritual world, relating with Krishna in a very wonderful manner. That is what Bhagavad Gita is teaching us. Right? The varieties here are all distorted, perverted. Spiritual relation is permanent, eternal, and with actual factual existence. That same thing is a reflection here, which is all going to end one day. We want to have a nice family forever, nice friendship forever, everything is going well, but it ends because body is going to finish one day. So impersonalists cannot imagine how there can be such relationships in the spiritual world. The impersonalists have no idea. They cannot even conceive that God has a form. This is their problem. First of all, they say anything spiritual for them is opposite. Oh yeah, the material world, we have some form. This form is creating a lot of problems. So they have realized this much. Form means problem. His body is going to get old, body is going to go through diseases, it has to die one day, a lot of problems. So spiritual means there will be no form. Nirakara. Nirguna, they say. But their lack of understanding is that Nirakara means doesn't have a material form like ours. Krishna has a spiritual personality. When you say Nirguna, doesn't mean the qualities like in the material world we have similar qualities no qualities in spiritual world. No. Material qualities are not there, it has spiritual qualities, the positive aspect. The impersonalists only deny neti, nothing, not this. Then what is this actual? What is the actual spiritual existence? It is having true original spiritual existence with varieties in its true factual existence. That's the point. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that not only does God have form, but he has sex life also. That is the highest contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which we have understood. And Prabhupada explains how in the material world, all relations are perverted reflections. How it is. One can serve the Supreme Lord in various relationships, but in the material world, those relationships exist only as perverted reflections. We have been discussing on this point, perverted reflection. They are all there. Husband, wife, parent, child, friends, master, servant, right? All is all there. What is our engagement relationship to this material world? What are our ideas of society, friendship, and love? They are all based on the material conception of life. Material conception of life means I am matter, I am this body, and everybody's our bodies. Right? Based on just the understanding that I am the body and bodily relations, This is the understanding, right? If just like recent lot of violence going on in our neighboring country, right? Because they think they don't belong to this our country. They're not our people. They are different people. We have to drive them out from this place. That's what they think. So like this, bodily conceptions have so many types of problems in the material world. Demarcation of the country, and I belong to this place, community, this country, so I am supposed to enjoy this place. You should go out like this. This is the understanding of a society, friendship, and love. In a society, someone is engaged as a father or mother to a son, and others are engaged as husband and wife, lover and beloved. There are other rasas relationships also, such as to be engaged with another as an enemy. Right? Of course, in our normal course of life, on our day-to-day life, we have some people as enemies, some people as well-wishers, some people are neutral. All these relationships we have. There are 12 different relationships, out of which 5 are predominant. The other 7 are indirect relationships, such as, for example, to be someone's enemy. There is usually a relationship between enemies, even between a murderer and the murder, and the one he murders. Right? So this relationship is there. Why? Because the enmity has gone to such a level that I'm feeling that you have to be finished. That's what murder happens. So with Krishna also, as far as our relationship with Krishna is concerned, however, if one establishes a relationship as his enemy, then also his life is successful. It's a very important point Prabhupada is making. In the material world, when you have somebody as enemy, that relationship is so toxic, so detrimental to both the people, that both are not going to benefit in any way. Whereas when it comes to Krishna, even somebody is acting as his enemy, then also his life is successful. Prabhupada gives a wonderful example here with one demon. Therefore, when one engages his senses with Krishna, a relationship can be established in one of the 12 different varieties, of which 5 varieties are direct and 7 are indirect. 7 indirect varieties are to become an enemy, means show anger, laughter, compassion. Like this, there are 7 more varieties of different rasas or relationships. So demon, atheists, they want to kill Krishna. When Krishna appeared in the arena of Kamsa, there were many big wrestlers prepared to kill him. In fact, he was invited there to be killed only. Past time of Krishna, if you see, Krishna was invited all the way from Vrindavan to Mathura so that he can be killed. His enemy Kamsa thought, soon the boys will come. They have tried for 16 years to kill them, but that boy Krishna could not be killed. But now I have invited him as a guest. When he arrives, he will fight with these wrestlers and they will kill him. This is what the atheists think. At least his thinking comes as thinking Krishna as his enemy. The demoniac and atheistic people are always thinking of Krishna or God in terms of killing him. That's how in the material world we think. My enemy should be finished, killed. It's like there's a fierce competition in the business. Every other person will think that his business should be finished. That person should be killed. And that's what the conception in the material world is. Enmity goes to that level of harming each other. So therefore they present their theories that God is dead. These atheists and demons. They think that if God becomes dead, then they'll be free to act however they please. And Prabhupada gives an example of how when Aurangzeb is one of the 4 sons of Shah Jahan. Right? He's like the second son. But when there was a time to change over from Shah Jahan to the next king, so obviously next king should be the first, eldest son. But what did Aurangzeb did? He killed other 3 brothers. He imprisoned his father Shah Jahan, and he became the king. This is the history. So this is how it is. Because when you want to satisfy your senses, you will do anything. Even your own relatives, your own brothers, you will kill and you will imprison your own father. This is how material world relationships are. But as far as their actual activities are concerned, God may be dead or alive, but God's agent, the material energy, is so strong that no one can freely do any wrong. It is a fact. I may do whatever way I want things, but you are implicated. You are under supervision. Rather, you are always observed. And every action of yours will come back to you sooner or later. As soon as anyone does something wrong, there is immediate punishment. It does not require the presence of God. God may be dead or alive, but the material energy is sufficient to punish anyone who violates the material laws, even to the slightest degree. Very important principle. Right? Material nature's laws are very strict, very cruel. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Daivi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Nobody can surpass or overcome the stringent laws of nature. Stringent means very strict. Little you have deviated from the actual rules, you will be punished. Prabhupada gives example of how, today I had my lunch, and lunch I took, instead of one rasgulla, I took 5 rasgullas. Immediately you'll be implicated. Evening you'll have some problem in your stomach, indigestion or something. So anything, even if you consume more, or you do some, you break the law, regular law, you will be implicated, you will be punished. This is how material laws work. God has set these conditions, but foolish people do not understand. Right? So the point here is, you have to surrender to Krishna and serve him favorably. If you don't surrender, then there's another severity which material laws will be imposing upon you, which you cannot escape. That's the point. There's no other option. So Krishna's unlimited compassion with regard to, even though somebody wants to accept him as his enemy, even then Lord is compassionate. Whereas the material world is other way around. Lord Chaitanya, however, speaks of favorably engaging all the senses in service of Krishna in pure devotional life. Right? Favorable means acting as Krishna wants, not going against his desires. One should favorably engage one's senses and should do whatever Krishna wants. That is called favorable execution of service. Yet, even if one engages one's senses against the will of Krishna, but still thinks of Krishna, that is also advantageous. Prabhupada gives example of Putana. The demon Putana, for example, thought of killing Krishna. Just as the occupation of godly persons is to serve God, the demons and atheists are always prepared to kill God. Kamsa, after he understood that the child Krishna is born somewhere, somewhere is there, he started sending different demons from the time he understood that. He was only 3 months old. At that time, this demon Putana was sent. She was a witch. She breastly nipples with poison, very deadly poison. And she wanted to, and these demons have special powers to change their appearance. He came as a very beautiful, damsel, and nobody could doubt Putana's intentions. And she came and feed her breast milk, but that she is a demon and life air. That is the whole pastime described in the, So this has happened, Putana. So she came to kill Krishna, actually, Putana. Putana thought, I shall kill Krishna, is only a child. Easily I can kill. What is there? That's what they don't understand, the potential. Krishna is, even though he's a child, is all powerful. It's another mistake of the demoniac. They think Krishna or God to be ordinary man or child. Whereas in our experience, the material world, a child is helpless. Somebody, even child cannot do anything. Because Krishna's position is not. The child is always God. So in this way, Putana was thinking, let me spear my breast with poison. Goes to suck my milk. This was demonic, right? As we study this, we see that Krishna as his enemy, and yet he accepted her as a friend because he is so merciful. It's a very important, Bhagavata explains. Putana came as an enemy to harm. But Krishna take the negative side, even though intention of Putana was demoniac to kill Krishna. Krishna took the 1% positive aspect because she wanted to feed her milk. Just like Vedic understanding. There are 7 mothers. Our own mother, Atma Mata, wife of the Guru is also considered to be mother. Then the wife of a Brahmana is also considered to be mother. Then wife of a king is also considered to be mother. Then like that cow is considered to be mother. Our own mother, so affectionate to us, and even a nurse is considered to be mother. So actually, Putana came as a nurse to feed Krishna with her breast milk. So Krishna took that one attitude of mother which Putana wanted to show to Krishna. So he did not consider the 99% bad aspects or the intentions of the demon Putana. He did not take the demoniac portion of her mentality, but he accepted her as what? As mother. Right? So every living entity is conditioned, but Krishna is not. This is the difference. In material world, all our activities are all conditioned or having a lot of problems. Spiritual world, Krishna is not conditioned like us with a lot of material laws. He's in a spiritual realm functioning. A doctor or psychiatrist treats madmen, but he does not become mad. Sometimes become angry with him or call him ill, he is sober and simply treats him. Very important point Prabhupada is making here. Krishna knows even the soul within Putana's body, it is actually a pure entity. But due to circumstances, due to different situations, which that soul itself has created for in its life, it has landed up in a demon's body, like Putana. Actually, every soul is pure. It is part and parcel of Krishna. Just like a psychiatrist will treat the patient, madman, even though the patient may be abusing or even sometimes he may hit also, beat also, right? But nevertheless, doctor is very patiently soberly trying to treat that patient because the doctor knows is the only way. Likewise, Krishna also, different living entities, they're all my part and parcel, but somehow they have been situated in their own way because of their own actions. How to deliver them is what Krishna's thinking going on. Similarly, if someone regards Krishna as his enemy, Krishna does not become his enemy. Right? In the material world, if you consider somebody as enemy, other person also is very inimical. Oh, there's a lot of friction and a lot of, you can say, churning happens with regard to how I can attack him, like this. Spiritual world is not like that. Even though you consider Krishna as enemy, Krishna doesn't consider you as enemy. Because Krishna is all good. You'll only take the positive side of your service. Right? Putana came to poison Krishna, but he took it otherwise. He thought, I have sucked her breast milk, therefore she has become my mother. Krishna treated her as his mother, and therefore she became liberated to the same position as Krishna's real mother. Just see. Little service Putana did. And she got elevated to highest position as Krishna's mother, Yashoda. This is what Krishna says. Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya. Little service you do to me, you will be delivered, Krishna says. The conclusion is that the highest perfection is to establish a favorable relationship with Krishna. But even if one engages himself unfavorably, Krishna is so merciful that he at least gives one salvation. Right? So this is how Krishna is all merciful, all good. Right? Somehow, if you come in touch with Krishna, Krishna will only deliver you. All the enemies killed by Krishna were immediately liberated. Very important principle. When you say Krishna killed his enemy or demon, it's not mentioned like that in the Bhagavata. It is mentioned Krishna delivered. Because any demon coming in touch with Krishna, they are all delivered. So Kamsa was sending demons to kill Krishna, but Krishna gave them liberation. This is Krishna's special mercy. Right? Because coming in touch with Krishna in any way is going to be all good for the spirit soul. So this is what as spirit souls we are supposed to be doing. Even if you favorably execute Krishna consciousness, what to be spoken. Krishna is even more merciful. That is the point. So we'll continue this wonderful discussion further in our next sessions. So we will conclude here. If anybody is anything to ask, discuss, we can take up a few questions. Any clarifications. I took a little more time today, so there's some disturbance in between. Okay. Any questions? Any clarifications?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Yes, Hare Krishna.
प्रभु ये जो भागवत में सप्त माता का जो वो आया है उसमें यही जो मतलब गाय जो आपने बताया अभी वही सप्त माता है या?
हाँ, गाय, cow also is a mother. Mother Earth also is mother. आत्मा माता गुरु पत्नी ब्राह्मणी राजपत्निका देनुर धात्री तथा पृथ्वी. Our own mother, then guru's wife, brahmana's wife, then the wife of a king, then cow, then Mother Earth, and a nurse. Because nurse, sometimes the mother is not able to give milk, right? Then these nurses were engaged to take care of children. She is also a mother. So Putana came as a mother. One sense, motherly affection.
Nursing mother.
Nurse, Dhatri. She came as a Dhatri, nurse, to feed Krishna. So that was what Krishna took it as. Oh, she has one moment thought of this particular service for me. Little service also you have, service attitude. Maybe 99% you have intention of something else. But Krishna takes a positive thing. One positive thing is there, good. It's like Prabhupada when he went to America. He saw this, all these youngsters, hippies. They didn't have any, devotion to Krishna, anything, or no respect. But they were sincere in whatever Prabhupada was used to tell, they used to follow. Prabhupada said, this sincerity is good enough. So if you show this, some sincere service to Krishna, his pure devotees, you will be elevated in Krishna consciousness. Okay? Fine. Good. Thank you. Okay, so let's close here and we'll continue our discussions in the next week.